I guess, you know, it's a double-edged sword, right? You don't want to heavily emphasize online because there's so much flukiness that can happen there, but you also want to make sure you're providing enough content for the community, which is exactly what we have here. Space Station, FaZe Clan, two of the biggest orgs in Halo Infinite. Throwdown now in the winners semis.
And I did check, flukiness is the technical term for what is happening here throughout seeding based off of land points from Charlotte on line points. So if we're looking at this matchup, Space Station coming in again is that #2 seed and FaZe Clan is the 3, but FaZe is by far, maybe not by far, is the favorite as far as game record against SSG. Can they carry it through here when it counts in this semifinals matchup? We already see the snipers in play. Royal 2 has one, I believe Stellar had the one for Space Station. It might have changed hands at this point. Royal 2 stays alive though, and with that life, he hits another body shot for the assist. A necessary one on that line of defense right as Space Station was starting to gain some momentum, and now the perfect headshot snipe. Jump peeks right over that ledge to line up the kill.
Space Station does a great job there to earn the early pressure on FaZe, but the likes of Renegade and now Royal 2 also popping off with Snipe. They're going to earn that mid-map control right back. You have the entirety of SSG now pushing down on that left side of the map. Oh, you got two snipers to worry about. Bound might lose his wig once again. Royal 2 took it earlier. Renegade not able to hit on that one, though.
Bound holds onto his head for now as he ducks that, but he finds instead the melee from Snakebite. FaZe Clan have the kills. FaZe Clan have the snipers. Royal 2 spends the last round of his ammo. What is this? Is this a flagpole on the other side of the map from Space Station?
Yeah, this is really interesting. Space Station coming into this series, and specifically this Argyle CTF, with a strategy to just continue to put pressure on this FaZe Clan squad, despite the fact that they have two snipes, despite the fact that they have numbers. The pressure has been there for SSG, but all the while, it's a counter cap potential for FaZe Clan. That pressure might come back to bite them when you have FaZe playing so calm, cool, collected, and calculated.
That's the patience from Renegade to get the back smack off the use of the camo, but not sure if it's going to be enough just yet. Now Royal 2 filling in with yet another sniper. In fact, he has all of the sniper ammo. You see him overload that sniper with 12 rounds as both snipers spawn in. The first capture goes down, and it's primarily been that capture the sniper play leading into capturing the flag on the side of FaZe Clan. Their, you know, prioritization of those sniper weapons has cleared the path for them to get the first point on the board.
Yeah, despite a 1-0 game here for FaZe Clan, it's been the pressure. It's been more pressure from SSG despite that. But FaZe Clan, they're playing the efficiency game. They're going to have more flag scores per flagpoles when we look back at the snow stats from this one if it continues at this rate. So FaZe playing that perfect objective efficiency. One pull, one score, 1-0 lead for them.
In Charlotte, the winter semifinals, these two teams faced off in a CTF Argyle where FaZe won 1-0, which is the exact score you're seeing on the screen right now. We know that Argyle is low scoring in the captures. Watch out though, Stellar has the double kill. Stellar taken down, but look at the bait. Penguin was ready with that back smack, expecting the push to come through. And now we see Space Station fighting for that mid-map control. In the last series, you said, what map has that mid-map control priority like Argyle? I think Aquarius might be the closest thing we have to it. Maybe Bazaar if you're going back to season 1. But right now, Argyle is all about who controls top mid and who controls those snipers. And it looks like Royal 2 has the sniper in hand yet again for FaZe.
Exactly. Just look at this. Space Station just took all 4 down for FaZe Clan, but they were able to do nothing with it because they didn't have mid-map control. Off spawn, you have Royal 2 with a sniper and mid-map control. That's why FaZe, despite going all 4 down, still have that 1-0 lead. And with Royal 2 looking like he was in the Team Snipers playlist yesterday, if we see more of the same today, it's going to spell trouble for SSG. Bound loses his head, and Royal 2 is looking for more.
I believe it was Snakebite that was sneaking away with the camo. So it is FaZe Clan with both snipers. One for Renegade, one for Royal 2. Snakebite with the camo. He is found out, but he has moved forward. Now all the pressure on the back of Space Station's base. Eco is the last alive, and he's the first down. All 4 go down for SSG, and Royal 2 is looking for more. The killing spree off with a double.
Yeah, Royal 2, he's continuing his form from yesterday, and that spells trouble for not only SSG Magic, but for the likes of Optic as well, who looked really strong in a highly contested series against Native Red. You've got both of these two teams seemingly at the top by themselves in a tier of their own. Tier 1 really only includes 1 and 2 teams, and it's FaZe and Optic. Royal 2 gonna get the kill credit there on Stellar as he flies off the map, and with the 1-0 lead here, I think Royal 2 is gonna look like Formal in that last series, that coinciding mirrored series, and he's just gonna hang out here at mid-map and just try to pick off players with this sniper rifle.
I mean, why not, right? It's working. Royal 2 is 14-3. They have the first capture on the board. So right now, Royal 2's survivability is keeping that snipe in the hands of FaZe. He hits the body shot. Stellar jumps out of the way of that plasma grenade and now is going to get to work with it. Hopefully there's enough time. We're only at the halfway point, so we know there's time on the board. Can Stellar do what Royal 2 is doing against them? He finds one snipe shot. He's looking for the double kill. And it's almost like a deja vu that he took notes from Royal 2's book as he puts it into play himself.
Focused comms there from SSG. They had Royal 2. It's like walking into a saloon. The wanted poster, yeah, it's got a picture of Royal 2 there. 15-4, absolutely dominating with the sniper in the mid-map control. But Stellar takes down Royal 2, takes down 2, has himself a killing spree, but he goes down. But here's the slays that match the pressure Spacestation has been trying to put on. But it's Frosty peeling the wig again of another member of SSG. Top mid as well. So just as SSG had pressure, numbers, and mid-map control, Frosty sniped him away from it.
Well, Penguin has one sniper. I think Bound dropped the other, but no, both players go down. I think they delivered those power weapons back to FaZe. That wanted poster of Royal 2 is intact, but maybe letting somebody else be the priority target for right now as Snakebite picks up the weapon, rotates to top mid. 3 players from SSG find themselves caught, and Stellar's the last one to stay alive in that fight. 2 go down for either side, and they have Stellar singled out. They have the trap in place, but Snakebite needs to clean up the rest of this kill onto Penguin, and as he does so, Stellar finds himself taken down as well. This is that rule of the double kills, 2 kills at a time, leaving Spacestation staggered on these respawns.
That's faded, Magic. What do you mean? The only thing better than a double kill is an overkill. Duh. As we see Penguin push up, looking for a double kill here, has Renegade and a few members of the FaZe clan in his sights. Could hurt himself that overkill. He's got 3 on the other side of the snipe, but Frosty has his back. Penguin with the recognition, a great job with that, but it's Royal 2 and Frosty with the teamwork that do one better.
I was trying to figure out where that line of sight was from Royal 2 to hit that snipe kill, but he's finding the angles. One thing about Argyle, you have so many angles that you can work with, the lines of sight, and honestly, Royal 2 right now is looking like the player to control every single aspect of this map. 18-5, leading the way, not just for FaZe, but across the board. Second is going to be Stellar on the side of Spacestation with the 17. Primarily those sniper players putting in the work as Royal 2 locks down top mid, this time with the double priority of holding onto the camo spawn, anticipating the counter. And there's a grapple pull coming through. I think it might have been, was it Stellar that sneaks away with that camo as Bound contested top mid? It is.
I don't know, that camo looked like a bunny rabbit on Easter, hopping up and down. I'm not sure where it went. But on a more serious note, the analytics, plus 20 kill death ratio disparity for FaZe clan. So you might think, wow, plus 20 in the KD category, but they're only up 1-0. That's bad objective efficiency, Mac, which you'd normally say. But here on Argyle, where again that mid-map control is so important, FaZe clan is playing here to just control the mid-map, to keep Spacestation in their spawn. And every time they get a run out, Royal 2 is already at the mid-map, just like we said earlier. Now he's got a triple kill. So for SSG, they can push into the base all they want. They can pull flags all they want. As long as FaZe clan and the likes of Royal 2 dominate this mid-map control like they have been, they're not going to put a single score on the board here. 3 minutes left.
Okay, but this is very reminiscent of what we just saw on the other side semifinals, where it was below the 3-minute mark. Optic was up 1-0 until Native Red did find a capture with about a minute left to force that overtime, where Optic ended up coming through with the win. But does Spacestation have the gas in the tank that they need in order to mount the strategy? Right now, they have great map control. They have almost a line across mid-map. A trade of kills comes through. Penguin trying to stay alive, hugging this wall, but it's Frosty with the double kill. 1 player left for FaZe is Renegade. He wins a kill as that last player. I think he single-handedly stopped this push. SSG going back to the drawing board, but they have players in the back of the base. It's Stellar and Eco together, and Renegade might have the sidekick, but he doesn't have a duo to work with.
Yeah, Renegade there was playing the role of Thorn in the side, staying alive on the SSG side of the map. That allows Royal 2 to push up, but Bound with the big brain play, the remote detonation. Frosty, though, looking to steal this camo, does just that with the use of the grapple hook. And that's absolutely huge. FaZe 11-0 on Argyle CTF, and we're seeing exactly why in this game.
Frosty winning over the camo might just be the win condition for FaZe to keep it out of the hands of Space Station, to keep them locked down at that 0 captures. And Frosty has found the back of Eco. Great patience, great recognition, picks up the kill, picks up the sniper, and grapples in for the double. He has 8 full rounds of that sniper off of the strategic positioning for the double kill.
Stellar. He knew it was coming, but Frosty still earns the double kill, still alive somehow. And that sniper ammo going to instantly transfer into the mag for Renegade. Now has 10 shots to work with 1 minute left to go. That is a sore sight for SSG, as they're going to have one last chance at potentially tying this match and sending us to a sudden death OT.
I don't know if Renegade lost Eco or just tried to counter push on the opposite side, but either way, he finds his death. In fact, all 4 go down for FaZe. This is it. SSG are going to have a flag run, but it's Renegade once again being the thorn in the side of Space Station. Royal 2 picks up a kill. 2 go down for Space Station. They have the flag out to halfway, but Eco's being revealed because of carrying that flag. Renegade finds the stop, and even off of 4 down, FaZe respawn, get the slays, and we're looking at only 20 seconds left for Space Station to make a last desperate push.
Frosty goes down with snipe, but Snakebite in the SSG spawn, and with 14 seconds left, he doesn't need to pull flag, he just needs to stay alive. That's why we saw him dip there. Had the blood in his mouth, he could taste blood, but didn't go for the finishing kill because he knows all they need to do is make sure Bound doesn't stay alive. He goes down, and so too do the chances for SSG here.
Penguin.
Sudden death overtime, final seconds ticking away. Penguin gets a huge clutch kill on Frosty, but Penguin goes down, so too does SSG. FaZe Clan move on to 12-0 on this game type. That is absolute domination, and they did it their own way, only scoring that first flag and then playing for dominant map control the entire rest of the way. And even like you said, Magic, when SSG did find the slays, even when SSG did find 4 down, it was never with mid-map control. That's why they were never able to get a flag past the halfway mark.
You know, when it comes down to FaZe looking at this map, they say, no, it's not Argyle, it's our Guile. This is our map, 12-0. Man, I know that SSG was wishing that it was a Game 1 CTF Aquarius instead, but when it comes to Argyle, FaZe have been locking down. Even though the score says 1-0, it felt more dominant than that one capture will say. It was that early control of the snipers leading to the capture, and then round after round of defense. There was one team wipe from SSG where they had the flag halfway, and off the respawn, FaZe found the defensive kills they needed to shut it down.
And it's a risky strategy for what it's worth, not going for that insurance flag, taking just one and just knowing that you've got it locked down. It just goes to show how confident FaZe Clan is, and if they just play their game, whatever that game is, they're going to likely take down their opponents. We saw a masterful example of that. 1-0 on the final score, but really felt more like a 3-0. As SSG, they're going to have to really pick it up here in game 2, or they might get 3-0'd by FaZe.
Kowski already seeing the potential for a 3-0. Space Station might be coming into this tournament as the #2 seed, but overall it's been FaZe winning time and time again against this competitor, against this rival.
Well, that's tough.
Looks like we're gonna have a quick reset here, go back to the drawing board.
Well, that's tough. That's where you just got to mentally reset and you say, whatever, dude. Like, it's fine. Let's just run it back, because that looked to be a good opening start for SSG. Not sure though if a DQ or something played into that hot start, as we see Royal 2 with the hot start in that previous game on Argyle, getting that first pick on Bound. And that was at a time in the match, Magic, where SSG was all over FaZe Clan's side of the map. At one point even had a flag out with 3 down, but it just goes to show that's bait right there. Like, you're just kind of like putting a beacon above your head when you're the last player alive, trying to run flag like we saw SSG do multiple times. You really just, it's like lighting up the bat signal. All of these 4 players for FaZe Clan, they're all Batman. There are no Robins.
There's no Robin. You're Batman. You're Batman. You're Batman.
Yeah.
And you are Batman. Batman for everybody. No sidekicks here on the roster. Honestly, that really does define FaZe, right? As a roster, there's no side characters. There's no secondary players. It is 4 all-stars. In fact, I think it was Tools yesterday saying that his top 10 players are 4 from Optic, 4 from FaZe, and then if I'm remembering correctly, it was Eco and Stellar from SSG rounding out Tools' top 10.
Sounds about right.
You know, you have 4 of those on FaZe. This team is built to take on Optic, and that's what they're looking to do here. If they get this win through the semifinals, they will face Optic in the winners final, a place we've seen very familiar for those teams to go head-to-head. But SSG are not, they might be down, but they're not out. We know that this is a team that has played together with some long-standing consistency. We know they're a team that comes out to fight on land, online as well. And they might just have the match for FaZe, although it has to be proven yet. I think their overall record is 12-2 on game wins, now 13-2 after that victory for FaZe.
All right, here we go. Re-rack, recharge is the map destination for this Game 2 Slayer. SSG, I think, really needs to take this here. You can't go down 2-0 to the likes of FaZe Clan. You can go down 2-0 maybe to the likes of a top 8 or 12 team, but once you start getting into that top 4 or 6, or in this case, top 2, top 1, these teams just don't give up any unforced errors. And here for SSG, that's going to be the name of the game. That's going to be the goal, is to force some errors here for FaZe. Maybe earn a couple camos off the rip. You cannot let FaZe get full control of the sandbox, though, off the start, and that's what they're looking for.
Looking for that sandbox control. And Mikowski, as we head back into this game, I want you to make a prediction. What do you think this series is going to be? Is it going to be that 3-0? Do you see SSG bouncing back? What do you think?
I think it's going to end up 3-1 FaZe. I think SSG take this.
Okay. I'm really eyeing game number 3, the game for Spacestation, but who knows? It could be right here. It could be coming up next. Early lead right now for Spacestation. They're actually doubling up on the kills over FaZe, 4-2. Found trying to stay alive and trying to burn the camo. He doesn't let Frosty escape. So camo is going to have to be reset, not in play. But what is in play is this expanding lead from Spacestation. Look at Eco rotating to cover Bound so he can regen his shield, and hopefully Bound can avenge his fallen teammate. Has to settle for the trade.
Oh, look at Stellar in the back of blue. All the attention on Penguin at top gold. Stellar gets a double kill for free based on the positioning and awareness of those 2 teammates. But now those who went down called out Frosty at top gold, and now SSG's going for it, but they don't have the support. Royal 2, though, does go down. Penguin steals the shock rifle. So despite that push there, SSG finds a way to reclaim map control, and most importantly, that shock rifle in the hands of Penguin.
Penguin looking more like an acrobat than the Spartan right there, with a grapple play through the door, down the hallway at 1 HP, stays alive, dodging bullets Matrix style. Pretty incredible performance there from Penguin, and we see now Bound with the shock rifle. He's taken down, he drops that power weapon, still holding on to the 5-point lead, but Royal 2, we saw him popping off with the sniper in the last game. This shock rifle could do more of the same to get FaZe right back in this game, as he lines up one perfect. He's looking for more. Camo 5 seconds away. Stellar rotates C-plat. Eco might contest here at top blast, but Royal 2 is ready. The frag grenade gave him the information, the little bit of the audio cue that there's a player here. He's gonna clean up on that kill. Penguin going for the camo, but it's bait. Don't go down there.
Yeah, great recognition from Royal 2 there. Had Frosty and the attention of SSG on that bottom mid area with camo. Royal 2 again with the double kill for free based on the attention on his other teammates. That's positioning, that's communication, that's good teamwork there from FaZe Clan, as they've ridden that to cut this lead now to 2 after what looked to be a really good start. 5 or 6 kill lead for SSG is now only 2.
Spacestation still holding on to the lead, but it's 1 point now as Royal 2 finds a takedown with a frag grenade. Eco finds a kill of his own. Snakebite is lining up shots across, hopefully helping out, but Penguin gets a kill, sneaking back to batteries, but Snakebite is kind of out in the open. He can't get back to cover, so as he extends to clean up a kill, he's taken back down. This lead for Spacestation is back to that 3-kill mark, but no room for being comfortable as kills continue to go down.
This is a huge sequence right here. Just like we saw Optic against Native Red, SSG is now in that driver's seat to where if they can extend this lead at around the 5-kill mark into the 30s, they can play for a trade-out scenario where They have, it's almost like a foolproof way to win, but just as I say that, FaZe Clan cutting into the lead. 2 kills now separating these two teams. That is not the disparity you want to play for trades going into the 30s as FaZe continue to slay out. Now down only one, now tied here with the likes of Renegade popping off with that shock rifle.
The last player alive is Penguin crouching behind the box. Renegade was looking, but he finds Eco instead. Now he's going to get the information from teammate to know that Penguin is here. He ducks around behind. He cleans up the kill. A 1-point lead, but it's not SSG. It's FaZe stealing back this game.
You saw Royal 2 with the sniper earlier. Now it's in the hands of Renegade. I want to see Bound. I want to see Penguin, Stellar, even Eco. Eco with that 50-49 kill on Gilkey in that Native White series. Any of these guys for SSG can pop off with a shock rifle. They just haven't had any control of it as the camo now sits at bottom mid. This is going to be a huge sequence. Both these two teams tied. The separation could come in the form of that camo.
Eco finds a kill. But 3 go down for SSG. It's FaZe who come out on top. They have the kills. They have the lead. Penguin clutches up to take down Royal 2. It looked like SSG had their backs against the wall, but Penguin winning that piv helps to stabilize Space Station with their positioning on the map, with their score across the board. 1-point game, and it's looking like a little bit of that deja vu all over again from last series. We're looking at a 49-50 potential finish at the pace we're set. And it's Frosty with the camo trying to slow it down, but he's singled out. He's found out. The tie game 30-all.
This might actually even be concerning for SSG. Why? Because Frosty is sitting at 3 and 10. You know he's going to be good for a triple kill potentially off of his spawn. So if Frosty wakes up, if Frosty heats up, this could spell trouble for SSG. But all the while, it's Stellar who's heating up, and Stellar who now has that sniper in his hands. Uh-oh, watch out, FaZe Clan.
I think he only has 1 burst left on that shock rifle, so he uses the BR instead. Renegade takes him down. It's a tie game, 35-all. Every kill feeling so crucial to the outcome of this game, maybe the outcome of this series. Renegade is on the hunt for Eco. He sets up some damage. Royal 2 is credited with that kill. It's still a 1-point lead here for FaZe as we head into the home stretch. They double it up with 2. The push comes in. The trade of kills. There's multiple targets though, and Frosty is stacking up the players of Space Station. Body bags everywhere.
And that's all Frosty needed to do. Trade out for a double kill. And that is going to give FaZe Clan, attached to that sniper performance from Renegade, a 3, now 2-kill lead. Royal 2 with the high ground here at Glass needs to hold on to this positioning, but he goes down. SSG steal the kill, steal the positioning, have what it takes now. The flank is on. Eco has the high ground. He drops on Renegade. Snakebite's not ready for it. Should be a double kill here for Eco. But does he trade out? No, that's huge. The trade does not go out, but the game itself is tied.
Eco had to push for that melee because he didn't have time to pop the reload. He's getting the fight, he's getting the kill, he's getting the killing spree, and he sets a Bound to clean up the last kill. We're back to tie, deadlock 4-4. Respawn's coming in. Penguin finds the opening pick, and it's Space Station closing in. They're not slowing down the pace of this game. They're keeping that aggressive force, and they're singling out FaZe 1 kill at a time.
47-45. Space Station has numbers. That's why they're continuing to roll and push here. They know they can 2v1 Frosty. Frosty has a little help, though, in the form of that repulsor. But Stellar takes down Royal 2. Bound goes down 48-46. 2 kills separating these two teams, and 2 kills until SSG has their 50th and the Game 2 victory. But you got to watch out. FaZe Clan is on the push. Renegade has some kills. It's tied at 48-all.
We saw the 49 tie in the last series. We're seeing a 48-all here, stacking up for more of the same. Renegade tries to stay alive. He's crouched there on C stairs. He's 1 shot away from death. Space Station have time and time again had the bait and switch, and now FaZe Clan doing more of the same, but it's a 2v2. It might be the game-winning play. Royal 2 finds the final kill. FaZe clutch it up 50-49.
All Frosty needed were 3 more kills. That's exactly the number of kills he got. And when you win Slayers with Frosty going double negative, oh, watch out if you're SSG, G1, Optic, Native. I don't care who it is, because regardless of who pops off for this FaZe Clan, it's always enough to get the job done, even when one of the players for FaZe isn't having their best game. I love that from a teamwork and camaraderie perspective. That's only going to grow the chemistry for FaZe Clan.
Mark it down. This is no April Fools. It's Sunday, April 2nd. Every Slayer game on broadcast today has come down to the final kill. Back-to-back semifinal Slayer matches, 49-50. And each time the team that needed to come back and tie the series falls just one kill short.
Oh, man. Stellar has looked really good in this series. You have to imagine he might be a little frustrated, not necessarily with his team's performance, but just the fact that it's not all coming together despite him playing really well. That last game, I believe, went 18-10. So playing really out of his mind from a kill death perspective. But again, you can't lean too hard into the kill death ratio. You got to lean into the good plays, the timely plays. And on the flip side of that, you saw Frosty go double negative, but he found the timing. He found the kills at the right time, right place. Also, important to note, had 8 assists leading his squad. So when you do go double negative, if you can fill in and have the most assists, that's a good game of Halo, man. I'm just going to say it.
I mean, almost the same goes to, you can say almost the same about Penguin, who went the 7-16 but had 12 assists. So both teams, you know, really giving it their best, pull for that final victory that came down to just the final kill. And we're seeing again an opening break, very strong for SSG. 3 players go down for FaZe. They have to reset. But that's what we saw in game number 2. We saw SSG with a strong start. We need to see them clutch up in the final minutes as well if they're going to get back in this series. And I like their chances here in the game 3 because they have taken down FaZe in 2 games throughout this season. One was at King of the Hill, the other was on Live Fire. So you put the 2 together, maybe this is just the recipe for success that SSG are looking for to get back in this series. And it's Penguin with the sniper. You add that as a little spice on top, and oh boy, do we have a matchup on our hands.
Just like we always have with Live Fire, that dueling dichotomy. One team goes for the objective, one team goes for overshield. Here in this instance, you had FaZe going for the early objective. That's why they have 50-60% of time. On the other side, SSG did grab that overshield, but it got taken down immediately. They weren't really able to do anything with that power up. And that's the reason why FaZe Clan has maintained this solid lead at the start.
Solid lead, but not on the solid lead on Hill time, but it's about to get tied up right here from Space Station because they're winning round after round of slays. I mean, Penguin 7-0, and I hope I'm not caster cursing him. 3 away from that potential frenzy as he hits the body shot on 1. He was the lowest slayer on the team last game. He was the leading assist, and it looks like he's switching those 2 columns around at the start of this game. Now Stellar's the last alive for SSG at the back of the B spawn. Frosty takes him down, takes the double kill, takes that sniper, and now we're gonna see this kill likely tie for time again, but Space Station are not wasting time on recontesting Frosty's best play. No, what is that?
No way!
He doesn't burn the sniper, he doesn't jump off the map, he nearly comes back from the dead.
Oh my god, that was one of the most cheeky, creative plays I've ever seen. Frosty was dead to rights and stays alive for a few extra seconds. That forced SSG to have to worry about a little something for a little bit extra time, but it's not going to be enough as SSG off rip. The strategy comes through as they play for the sandbox as opposed to that objective off the rip, and it forms a 1-0 lead for them.
Frosty pops up out of that toaster, but like my bagel, looked a little bit burnt for it at the end of the day. I wanted it to work. I wanted it to work so badly. So now that we know that it's possible, I don't know. My mind is blown. I love the repulsor. Royal 2 is at the top of the tower, has that line of defense, and it's Space Station credited with the first capture. Now FaZe are trying to tie it up. They have half of the hill won over, but 2 go down. Space Station have the numbers on this push. Penguin leading the charge, 11-2 already in this game.
Unbelievable. Frosty showing us that a year and a half into Infinite's lifespan, we're still finding out new things about movement tech, map tech. It's about every strategy still on the table, could still be shifted and changed. I love the way that this sandbox and meta has developed. And speaking of sandbox and meta developing, Magic, we have the bandit rifle on live fire, but you wouldn't know it. You rarely see the use of that. And was that Stellar jumping off the map again? He jumped off the map in game 1. He jumped off the map in game 3. Those are those unforced errors that you cannot afford to make against the likes of one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah, you might be able to get away with that in the first round of the open bracket, maybe in the first round of pool play, but not here in this semifinals against FaZe Clan. Unfortunate little misstep. You know, they have those caution signs. Maybe the floor is wet right there, and just, you know, either that or it's a Mario Kart banana peel. I don't know. He falls off the side of the map. But Penguin is the player that is keeping Spacestation in this game, wins that overshield 1-to-1 on hill time, and Penguin is just taking on the fire. He knows he's gonna get focused and taken down, but look at how much time he bought for the rest of the team on the hill.
And I don't like to use the word carrying. I don't actually believe in carries because everybody has to play their role as Royal 2 earns the double, maybe a triple, but he does earn the triple. Oh my God, it's the patience and the killing frenzy triple kill. But here's the problem for Penguin popping off. Here's the problem for Stellar popping off. He doesn't have the grouping of his teammates to, like, Penguin doesn't need 15 kills here. He only needs 7 or 8, but then you need Stellar and Eco to be at around that same mark as well. Despite all of that, though, SSG tied 1-1 with a lead on this hill. But when I look at the eye test here, it looks like FaZe has the edge, despite how close this game is.
Yeah, it's really the dichotomy here. Royal 2 on the side of FaZe and Penguin on the side of Spacestation. Both of them are keeping their team in the fight, but they're waiting for the other 3 teammates to rally behind them. You can have one player, not carrying, not backpacking, but maybe maintaining a position in the match, but it's not sustainable for a full game. Renegade now is getting in on the mix. He gets a takedown, hoping for an assist, but it's Eco who comes out with the win. This hill is just about tied, and Spacestation are on the push. They're on the approach, but Stellar is taken down. He doesn't get within range to utilize that heat wave, and this hill is all but captured, barring a miracle. Eco's not going to make it in time. FaZe get the hill, but also the cost. FaZe are well set up for the next objective.
And right there, you had SSG desperating for a hill that they had no chance at capturing. Because of it, 2 go down. Because of it, FaZe are going to rotate and get this opening score on the 4th hill. That's devastating for SSG, down 1, needing a tie. This is the overshield hill too, so for FaZe Clan, a potential 2-for-1 with hill time and overshield. And they have both. That was, again, an unforced error by SSG, desperating for a hill that they had no business desperating. Huge snipe, though, there from Bound.
It's a huge snipe, but even off of that snipe, there was so much cost in that final push that ultimately was too late. That's why you see Renegade breaking through to the hill, winning the overshield, winning the first time in the objective. Bound needs to stay alive. That sniper needs to be held in the control space station, and he gets the snipe that he needed to stay alive, to stay in the fight. He doesn't have time to celebrate, though, because it's Royal 2 hungry for that sniper. Royal 2, the 2 is for 21 kills.
And in all of these hills, Magic, SSG has had a considerable lead, almost in some cases a 2-to-1 margin. But it's all fool's gold. The eye test, you have to follow the eye test. You can't get caught up in the stats, because when you look at this game, it really has been all FaZe Clan dominating in the form of the likes of Royal 2, but even with the likes of Frosty with 12 kills. He's still having a great game. All those players with 8 assists. The only one that doesn't have 8 assists is Royal 2, who's popping off. So again, everyone's playing their 25% for FaZe Clan. It's a little disjointed, though, for SSG. It's like Bound finally pops off, right? But then Penguin kind of falls back a little bit from that pace he set earlier. Stellar pops off a little bit, but now Eco's not playing up to the performance and par that we know from him. So I'm sensing a little bit of disjointed effort here from this SSG squad, despite the fact that they tie it up here 2-2.
Yeah, they did tie it up, and I hear what you're saying. You're seeing the rest of FaZe Clan picking off where Royal 2 kind of blazed the trail, and Spacestation might be like a half step behind, which is why every time FaZe gets a capture, you see next hill has to be SSG. They cannot keep on this back and forth trade. It was a big win on that 4th hill, but Snakebite has the overshield, has it immediately activated, dodges the plasma grenade, and now takes the fight onto Eco. The assist comes through. SSG had barely a pinky toe on the hill, but all that did was reveal their position to Snakebite, knowing they're escaping across sandbags. Stellar's around the corner, right on that sidekick spawn. Snakebite has damage onto both players, but is Bound with the double kill. Bound is turning up right when Spacestation need it, but now he's back on the respawn.
2-2, less than 2 minutes to go, and because of this positioning, with the top mid hill, you're going to likely see at least 1 minute off the clock, which means when we do reach a 3-2 score, whichever of these two teams scores 3-2, they're going to be in a massive advantage to just play for slays and to just milk the clock at the end, because there won't be much of it left after we determine who scores this next hill.
The push for tower is in. If you control tower, you have sight lines over all of the objective to play some defense. So that's why you see Snakebite trying to lock down the hill. He needs to trade out though, because teammate is weakened, and that sniper being dropped, that's some great comms here on the side of FaZe, knowing that he'd have to fill in. But I tell you what, comms might be good, but you have to hit your shots because Bound is here to punish. Again, Bound is turning up right when Spacestation needed. They're about to tie it up on this hill. He has 3 rounds in the sniper. He has the premier real estate position on the map.
And this is exactly why SSG has come back in this game and tied it at 2, because of the performance from Bound. Didn't start off hot, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Bound looking to put together a strong finishing performance and potentially stealing this 3rd score for his team. Penguin with the heat wave, now going to push through cuts, has an access route to that top mid hill. He's going to take some time here, but he senses a flank, sensing that overshield is up in 5. Will SSG win this hill? No contest right now for FaZe. They might just get it for free.
I think he heard Renegade, who was rotating through that bottom tunnel. Eco finds Renegade, takes down the kill. Now Bound nearly the pancake, but instead the assault rifle kill. I have to think that overshield was one. Is Penguin with the overshield. He's holding on to the hill. The lead now for Spacestation. They cross that 50-point line, that 50% mark. The spike grenades are going to weaken the overshield, but not completely deplete it. Here comes Renegade. That's the heat wave damage being dealt. Penguin's dropped, but how much time he won for his team on that fight.
Oh, I love the decision there from Penguin. So often when you were an overshield on King of the Hill, the goal is to push out and play for slays. Penguin, though, knowing that this next hill likely wins the game, goes for the time. SSG with 1 minute left has a 1 hill lead.
This is the game that SSG had to win to get back in this series, to deny the 3-0 sweep that we saw Optic pulling off in the other branch of the semifinals. FaZe are still in the fight. They have 50 seconds, and right now it's Royal 2 hopping on the hill, 1 kill away from the 30 bomb. Started off so hot for FaZe Clan and has kept that same level of slaying ability throughout the match. But now he needs to shift his attention from getting the slays to getting time on the hill. And by Spacestation taking that top mid hill, they're denying this top slayer from being able to do his job for FaZe.
FaZe Clan have to play nearly perfect Halo right here. 1 team wipe for them, and it could send the clock below 20 seconds. 3 go down for FaZe Clan. Bound spots his former teammate Renegade scurrying away, looking to earn his team those A spawns. And because of Renegade staying alive, he's going to get close spawns, close access to this hill. So crucial with only 36 seconds left.
Bound jumping on the hill there wasn't to earn any time, but it was to contest the time that FaZe otherwise would have won. But they passed that 50% mark on the objective. Stellar is singled out on the bridge. Frosty has the damage. The melee comes through. Stellar gets the reversal kill.
Stellar going big when his team needs it most. And now we're starting to see multiple members for SSG pop off and make plays when it matters most. That's what we've needed. You've only ever had one player really popping off for SSG. Now you see 2 of them pushing together to take down Snakebite, potentially earning them a win in this game. But FaZe only need 1 millisecond. And now it looks like maybe SSG is going to play for hill time. No, Stellar gonna jump back out. No, he gets back in. So with 30 seconds left, up 1. SSG is gonna play for the 4th hill.
That's a win for FaZe. They just bought themselves more time on the clock by getting the hill to that 98% mark. Spacestation are forced to play for their 4th capture. They can't let FaZe break through even 1 time, or we're going to a tied game. Renegade gets the body shot. He can't clean up the full kill. Clock is ticking against FaZe Clan. Renegade has the sniper. He needs to go big here with a double kill or a kill and assist. But it's Eco who finds the first break. Eco finds the double kill. Penguin adds 1 more to the lineup, and Frosty is the last alive. It's Bound versus Frosty for the win. Bound on the rotation. Frosty trying to regen some shield, and Bound wins out the fight.
Unbelievable risk reward strategy. Looks like it's going to be a reward, and Bounty gets back in the hill. There's only 10 seconds left. This is unbelievable. FaZe with a last ditch effort here, but Stellar pops off with a no-scope cross map on Frosty, earning his team the final line of defense and their first win here in this series. A reverse sweep is now on the table.
We had a player from each side popping off in the early and mid game, but it came down to the rest of the team filling in, the rest of the team catching up to the pace, and it came down to Bound winning the pivotal 1v1 at the end game in order for SSG to be right back in this series. What a hard-fought victory. We're looking at the time, we're looking at the hill. FaZe had bought themselves more time on this last hill. Right here is where the stop comes in from Spacestation, and this repulsor was almost enough. Look at how close that hill was.
I got a key in on Bound. Clutches up, wins his team the game here with this kill on Frosty. But let's point out, Bound at one point was 3-10, and based on this scoreline, went what, 18-10 to finish the game, so nearly double. So he went from essentially triple negative to double positive. It was that reversal of form from Bound, forming into what we expect from the Rookie of the Year. That was the difference there. You had a lot of members for SSG pop off, but I really look at Bound's performance in that game 3 as a big reason why we are not going to break. We are not going to the next series, Magic. We are going to a game 4 on Streets.
We're headed to the streets with a skirt on the way. No time for a water break, no time to catch your breath. Just inject Halo straight into the vase because we have a game 4 winner semifinals. It's Spacestation clutching up in that game 3 victory to bring us for the first time here to the game 4. And off of the break, it's Renegade with the double kill. It's FaZe Clan with the rocket control. And now they have the oddball. 6 seconds won by Spacestation, broken up quickly by FaZe.
Ooh, that was big. Just as it looked like SSG was going to take that momentum and earn that first 30 seconds of milk uncontested, FaZe Clan answer right back in the form of a +10 disparity now on the time. Despite the push here from SSG, again, they have numbers. This is looking a little bit like that game 1 CTF where SSG applies the pressure. They have the numbers, but all the while, it's FaZe Clan playing objective, efficient Halo. Magic, this is not what we saw from FaZe Clan in the very beginning of 2023. Remember, they were losing some of those CTF matches where they were outslaying by the likes of 30-35. So FaZe Clan improving on their efficiency. That is a dangerous combination if you're any of their opponents.
Yeah, and you look at the roster and you're like, oh, Slayer, 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 Slayer. All 4 of these players can go out and get the slays, but who picks up the objective? Right now, it's Frosty filling in that role for FaZe Clan. 3 go down, however, for FaZe. It's SSG trapping the last player, Royal 2 behind the counter. No time to count your receipts, though, because Bound is here to win yet another piv. And hopefully the respawn's coming in for SSG. The push is going to be close behind. It looks like the B rotation from FaZe.
Bound looking like a barista here. Takes down Royal 2 in PD. Now has 1 player left, Frosty, for a team wipe on his lonesome. But Frosty goes down anyways. 4 down for FaZe Clan anyways. And now SSG has a chance to earn some ball time. Rotate away from this push for FaZe. Thought maybe they'd be pushing down the P side, but looks like they're going to split B and Cafe. It looks like potentially, yeah, 2-2 split. 2v2 Halo, classic Halo push here from FaZe Clan. Let's see how SSG responds.
Oh, but it's the trap coming in, Bound with the initial damage, and then Stellar on the cleanup, or actually assisting rather with that kill. Bought enough time for Bound to make that rotation. A great team play from Bound and Stellar. They have the objective back under control, and look at the spawns coming in for SSG. All 4 of them are back at the A side or PD side of the map. FaZe Clan left to push through Cafe. Renegade on the approach. Snakebite's gonna clean up that kill with the crossfire. That's that 2-2 split paying off as the crossfire comes through, but Spacestation are meeting kill for kill so far in this fight. Spacestation is forced to drop that objective, though. It's Snakebite causing some havoc in PD. The trade off of the sticky grenade, and I think Stellar might just be the last one alive from all of that mayhem.
Stellar now with the likes of Eco with that double kill on the B rail. He's going to now watch for the push from the Cafe side after cleaning up Frosty and Renegade. Spots the push from Royal 2. Eco now playing through his process, looking at each lane perfectly. No wasted efforts, no wasted glances. Every time he's forming that scope. It's down lane. It's down sight on a member of FaZe Clan as he ultimately goes down. But again, has enough of that positioning and angle to allow his team to clean up. This is not what we were seeing from SSG previously. And for FaZe Clan, they got to watch out because this is an SSG roster that now, after having a rough go at it to start the series, at the latter half of that last game and now to start this game, they're looking like a team that could absolutely win this series.
Bound is the key playmaker here for Spacestation. As he clutched up the kills at the end of last game, he needs to find more clutch moments here in game number 4. He's gonna hit that respawn screen before he can come back with that clutch factor. And it's Royal 2 had an incredible KDA in the last game. He's starting off on the same foot, 10 and 5, already in double digits. And that spike grenade threads the needle for a takedown. He's still outnumbered though in the back of the base. He has Bound taken down. He has the killing spree. The Bulldog might be enough to keep him alive. He uses the oddball as bait, baits in Eco, but Eco is not gonna, chop on that bait. Instead, he has a central beam. He's gonna get a little bit of a microwave action.
That is an incredible play though from Royal 2 as the last member alive. Three going down for FaZe Clan, Royal 2 the last up. You'd think that would lead to ball time for SSG, but because of Royal 2 not only staying alive in PD, but taking 2 down with them, it's allowed a little bit of a delay. It's allowed this FaZe Clan roster to push up, trade out, but all the while SSG with efficiency milking that oddball time, now up by a margin of 2-1.
Stellar with the Bulldog, 2 quick rounds in the melee to finish it off, but he is weak and he is trying to duck for cover, but Renegade's grenade is going to find the kill before Renegade traded out. It's Spacestation once again with the numbers, with the spawning position. They're 2/3 of the way through this first round, and off of those kills, they're going to get a good chunk of time here. I think there's only 1 player left, and here it is on the side of caution. Now Spacestation could get 10, 15, maybe even 20 seconds of time. I'm expecting this to go past that 80-second mark before FaZe can have time to formulate a response.
Bait and switch there from Bound. Again, it's the defensive bait and switch as he keeps Stellar alive by just simply peeking out, throwing his body, his shields in the way of Stellar's potential last shot as he would have went down at no shields. Ultimately goes down. All 4 go down for SSG. The patient push working in FaZe Clan's favor once again is they now look to put together a stronghold on the PD side. All of SSG should spawn C, but no, they're gonna get some B spawns because of the positioning of Eco Smith. That's huge, but you got to get Bound and the rest of that SSG roster up. Renegade spots it, predicts it, has the player down. Bound looking to go down as well, but no, Stalker down at the cafe side of the map. Rockets on the map as well. Who's gonna pick up the Stalker though?
Stalker is the question. We see that 1 rocket burned by Snakebite in an attempt to cover his trail on that retreat. We're below 1 minute left in the round. It's not a primary factor yet, just something to keep an eye out for. And it looks like Renegade finds a kill. FaZe Clan should come out with all the power weapons. Not the Bulldog just yet, though. Snakebite wins out. The BR staying just out of the lethal range of that close range shotgun weapon. So now it's Snakebite with the Bulldog, with the objective, rotating to PD side, but it's not going to be a clean run. Spacestation are here on the push. 2 go down to Renegade's Sentinel Beam. Tossing a frag, looking for a third, but caught in the reload by Eco.
Changing of the lead here potentially. 4 seconds separating these 2 teams. Only 40 seconds total on the game clock. That's going to be important to watch as you might see a team drop the oddball here with that 1 second lead and elect to play for Slays. That's what we're seeing from FaZe Clan, but the strategy is not working out. 2 go down for each squad. And Bound goes down, so 3 go down for SSG. This might actually work, but FaZe is going to have to grab a few more seconds of oddball. We might see the exact same strategy where they go up 80 to 79, drop oddball, and then slay out for the rest of these 30 seconds. Let's see how it goes.
Frosty milked a few extra seconds, but not much. Stopping at 82. Renegade finds the crucial slay. Penguin on the other side, though, gets the double kill. Now Renegade has to go up against Penguin. The killing spree coming through for Renegade. The 3-point lead in only 13 seconds. It's going to be a desperate push. Eco might be in range. Bound might try to make a break for it, but Eco's taken down. Renegade is an impenetrable line of defense, and Bound on the desperation push is going to find bullets in his back as the clock ticks down. FaZe steal back round number 1.
Oh my god, the brilliance of that oddball rotation from FaZe Clan. I saw them pick up the oddball. I'm going, wait, are they actually going to play to 100? No. They were just grabbing the oddball to continue to further rotate it away from SSG, knowing that the time and game clock was on their side. They win that round by 3 with the big brain strategy, the rotation. Wow.
And on the opening break of the next round, it's Frosty with the double kill to secure Rockets. You see that Penguin chooses to opt out of that fight, seeing the power weapon stolen away. But unfortunately, Stellar didn't get the memo. Watch out, Frosty is in the subway. He's not getting on the train. He's not getting on a bus. He's getting more kills.
Frosty with the odd combination of rockets and shotgun pushes up with the boom block as well. So he's got a kit. It's a weird kit, but it's a kit nonetheless. Takes down Bound with that rocket and now has only a shotgun to work with. Stellar gonna get down to no shields, but he's gonna pick up the shotgun instead. Penguin with control of that stalker rifle. So Sandbox in control of SSG. Map control. SSG lead. SSG here. It's a good start in round 2 for them.
The red gun might just be my favorite weapon on this map to utilize, as Penguin says that Stalker beats Bulldog, at least in the previous 1v1, cleaning up that kill. One go down for each side. Snakebite is trying to lob grenades, but a nice drop wall from SSG is going to provide some protection for them to stay alive and hold on to control of that oddball. The last round went down to time, just mere points of objective between the two teams. And right now we're seeing SSG a little bit more prioritization of milking that objective, and they're winning the slays on top of it. They're making it look easy.
Snakebite now, the last player alive. Penguin goes down. So too does Stellar, I believe, by that grenade from Snakebite. So once again, we're seeing heroic efforts as the last player alive. That forces a B spawn. Again, FaZe is so good at manipulating spawns to make sure that then when they go down in situations, the last player alive forces a favorable spawn at B, as opposed to C, where we see Bound spawning on the opposite side, on the opposite team. And that's the difference. That's the reason why we're going to see FaZe put up a pretty good stretch run of time here. All great strategy and decision making with the last player alive.
I mean, getting that first pick onto Frosty is huge for Spacestation because they were all spawning together. So now off the first pick, look at the rotation though from FaZe. They're trying to break past that Bulldog spawn, hearing the cue from Frosty that the push was coming from planters, the push was coming from B side, but the break is not in yet. Snakebite still has one rocket, and he's gonna find a clean kill onto to Stellar. He trades out the empty rockets for a Bulldog with 7 rounds, and basically are rotating completely to the opposite side of the map. Snakebite trying around the corner is taken down in the final second.
Such a smart rotation there by Snakebite. He saw Frosty spawn in the back right corner of C, flipped the map, folded it in half, and knew that all of SSG was going to be spawning PD. Brilliant rotation. They won the previous round with a rotation. Now they're using the rotation to come back in this round. It's been the rotation for FaZe Clan. That's been their key to success here in this game 4.
You can't fold maps in Halo Infinite, Mikowski. What do you think this is, Paper Mario? Like, oh,
I actually just downloaded that on the Switch. Maybe that's where the reference came in from.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's fair enough. Fair enough. Splitting the line on the map to predict the spawns, control the spawns. But it's Bound with the objective in hand. He's got 44 seconds and climbing. Eco in the defensive position at the top of B-Rail, has shots on the multiple targets. Penguin finds a kill. They're going to be past the halfway mark here as FaZe go down one after the other. And you see Ego doubling back. He's not wanting to allow that red room spawn, so he rotates back. The trap comes in from FaZe Clan. They find the breakthrough kill. That's 61 seconds in climbing for Spacestation. The next rockets are going to be in play. Red gun in the hand of Stellar.
Here's what's going to be so crucial for SSG right here. You got to make sure that if FaZe does break setup, you cannot let that oddball sit at the front of C. You got to make sure you throw it out to Palm Tree, because if FaZe breaks the setup, which they are, they're going to have a free hold at C. They're going to just get to walk right into it, grab that oddball, whereas instead, if it was out towards rockets, out towards palm trees, SSG can contest it off spawn. Instead, it's FaZe Clan walking away with it for free, and they should get, again, little by little, those 10 to 15 second chunk gains that are bringing them back.
And now they're just within 20. Unfortunate second rocket might have found Frosty's death instead of the other team. And now Bound, once again, winning the kill when it's needed. 22-19, but double digits on the assist side. Bound rotates through, finds another takedown. It's been Bound and Eco leading for slays. Stellar not far behind. But Bound in not only 23 slays, but 70 plus seconds of objective time has really been the utility player for this Space Station roster, and they are just just 25 seconds away from forcing a round 3. But Royal 2 and Renegade, they each find a kill. Renegade has the Bulldog. Stellar has the flank. He's going to find the backs of 3 FaZe Clan members. 2 players are weak, but he can't finish off either kill. Neither assist comes through as Bound goes down. So instead, Stellar now trying to cut off that oddball rotation, but it's looking like a 1v3 as he rounds this corner, picking up the shroud screen and coming just short on the jump.
Frosty, we're used to seeing him pop off in the kill death stat sheet. Here he's just making an absolutely big brain play. Recognized the play ball from SSG, caught it off of the C ledge, grabbed it, rotated it to B rail, then all the way back to C towards his teammates, with Royal 2 still staying alive at the back of C. I love that play there from Frosty, but it's a great job despite the big brain effort. Heroics even from Frosty. SSG looks to break setup once again. Snakebite, last player alive, a huge pick with Penguin, and he goes down. SSG on the brink of sending us to a game 5.
Every player from Spacestation in the 20+ kill mark, and Stellar's gonna add 2 more with a double kill use of the rockets. The objective is picked up. 15 seconds left for us to see a round 3. We saw an oddball on streets yesterday with 293 kills, and this one might just stack up to beat that record. Clock ticks down. Spacestation clutch up.
SSG looking more and more likely to force a game 5. They looked really strong in round 1. It wasn't until the very end that we saw FaZe really clutch up strategically with the way they played the clock and the oddball. And now momentum on the side of SSG. And if they carry this all the way through to a game 5, they could very well find themselves with the reverse sweep win.
Penguin with the double kill to win the game. Watch out, because when Penguin is firing, he's going to take down anything in his path. He takes down 1 kill, but the red gun is in control of FaZe Clan. Renegade is dropped. I don't know where anything is. Where's the oddball? Where's the rocket launcher? Chaos. It's Royal 2 with that stalker, and it's Snakebite once again. He's been the rocket launcher carrier time and time again for FaZe. The first rocket is not enough for a kill. The second one is going to have to be used defensively. The push coming through mid. Eco's going to find the other end of that blast radius. But it's Penguin finding a kill of his own. Penguin with a double kill. Stellar on the pinch. It's Penguin and Stellar trapping Snakebite at the back of Cafe, and FaZe go 4 down.
And just like that last round, you had FaZe had rockets, stalker, shotgun, rocket, everything. They had all the important equipment and map control, power weapon control, but it's SSG who's done such a great job in this game, playing well without the likes of the sandbox on a map that, outside of Empyrean, is probably the most important sandbox map to dominate. As we see another 4 down for FaZe Clan. Now those power weapons switch into the hands of SSG, and so too does that lead, up by a margin of 14-5.
Mikowski, you know what's better than an overkill?
A killionaire.
Double kill. Come on. Penguin had the double kill to win the last round. He had a double kill here to secure the objective. Every player on a Spacestation with time. Eco primarily left to get the slays. Their assist count is very much that tight grouping and kills and assists across all of Spacestation. They have a 22-second lead, but Bound dodging left and right. The masterful movement is not enough to get away from the last frag grenade sent his way. It's Renegade now with that Sentinel beam, trades it out for the last round of the red gun instead. All played out into neutral territory as those breakthrough kills came in.
Renegade likely communicating there to Elamite that the stalker is out. Elamite now timing the stalker to come back at that 2:30 mark, and that's going to be hard to. That's actually going to be very crucial for the coach to time, because you don't have a moving game clock here. You've got that oddball clock where, if the oddball is in the hands of an opponent, the oddball or the clock stops here. So it's going to be very important for these two coaches to time the next stalker, because that stalker could be the difference.
Sorry, Mikowski. Eco just like ate that Rocket Pac-Man style, and I say Eco lives as a stray bullet finds his demise. So almost an incredible live there from Eco, but the timing there from the coaches, watching out for those power weapons, is going to be so crucial to the outcome of this 3rd and final round. If you're looking at the kill counts, players on both sides, 30 plus. Will they cross that 40-point mark that we saw in the game from yesterday? Renegade has the drop ball, has the Bulldog. Renegade is at 35 slays himself, looking to make it 36 on a big takedown onto Bound. Just 12 seconds between these two teams as they trade out on the kills.
10 seconds separating these two teams. This is huge. Last player alive. We've seen those plays for FaZe with the last player alive there. We don't. Because of it, SSG is going to get a nice hold. FaZe is going to spawn on the opposite side of the map at C and going to have a long trek back to A.
Will they cross the halfway mark? They're 5 seconds away. Bound cleans up 1 kill. And the assist on the second. Great team fire coming out here from SSG. Rocket's just 2 seconds away, and the Shroud screen covers the retreat. But Bound is tracking with a Disruptor pistol even through the Shroud screen. Where those Rockets go? I think it's Spacestation coming out with the control of the Rockets. Not in the hands of Snakebite this time around. Bound has the shots, peppering the back of A, and here's that strategic rotation cut short by Snakebite's double kill.
Oh, and
it's Stellar, it's Stellar.
Triple kill.
Oh, just as it looked like Eco was getting around the corner, Snakebite earns the triple kill, potential kill tack even. But again, it's 3 down for FaZe Clan. Frosty, last player alive, but he now makes a huge play, stealing the oddball away from right underneath the nose of Elamite and SSG. As Frosty, he's -10, he's almost -10 in this game. He's -11 actually, but he's having a great game with those oddball rotations. Just goes to show, kill death ratio is not to be praised. You got to praise good plays like that rotation from Frosty.
It was a great rotation, but Spacestation, even though they couldn't catch up to the oddball off that rotation, they do get the breakthrough kills, and one after another, the dominoes fall for FaZe Clan. Spacestation sneaking away this objective. 65 seconds and counting, almost a very difficult spot to hold the oddball. There's no cover, but Stellar doesn't need cover. What Spacestation have right now is the team fire. The assist column is lighting up for SSG as kill after kill is based off of that combined fire.
FaZe not able to capitalize off of that big brain rotation from Frosty. Because of it, Eco and the likes of SSG are on the brink of a game 5 where they will carry all of that momentum. And I look back at round 1, it really felt like FaZe Clan stole that round 1.
Yeah.
We should already be in a game 5 if you look at that. As Frosty now has the oddball in his hand again, slays in the favor of FaZe Clan, but the push is already on down the P side. Rockets up soon.
Stellar is the first player across the board to break that 40 bomb mark, but I don't think he will be the last. Bound is just 2 kills away himself. He finds 1 more. He's on the hunt, tossing out spike grenades. There's a player bottom mid. I think that was Royal 2 with the new rockets that he just took down. No time to celebrate, no time to clean up rockets. You got another 1v1 in front of you. Instead, it's Stellar picks up the rockets, tries to clean up the kill, but it's the melee gonna do the job where the rocket could not.
About 30 seconds separating these two teams, and there's only 60 seconds on the game clock. It's going to have a very similar feel to that round 1 where FaZe Clan stole it. Will they steal this round and the series? As a result, Bound with some crucial gunfights here. Doesn't really look like he has the support on the B side, as it looks like his teammate Penguin there is going to push up to support. Eco in the back as well. Bound playing so patient there. Bound previously in the series was taking those pivots 2v1, 3v1 even. Now he's waiting for teammate support. Now he's getting teammate support. SSG look primed for a game 5.
Bounds live there in arcade in what looked like a 1v4 situation was enough for the rest of Spacestation to rally off of the respawns, but now Frosty almost in the mirrored position of what we just saw from Bound, but it's the frag grenade that finds him. We have 4 players in the 40+ kill mark, 2 on each side. Eco might be the next player to cross that line, but there's only 15 seconds to play. What we saw with that playing the clock in round 1 looks to be a similar scenario here, but FaZe Clan are down. They're down 20+ points. They have to get this objective to safety, and they need to do it quickly because Spacestation are on the approach. Snakebite goes down. Red gun is dropped. Red gun switching hands. 15 seconds between the two teams. Here comes the push from SSG.
Gonna need perfect halo as FaZe Clan don't have the numbers, but they do have that oddball. But the seconds are ticking away. Eco now has protection of it. 5, 4. Last ditch effort here from Snakebite. He goes down, and we have a game 5. SSG bounce back in spectacular fashion to tie this series up at 2.
The final push from Space Station was enough. They had accumulated enough of a lead that they didn't have to play for the objective. They could play only for time. And in the final seconds, FaZe's defense fell apart. It crumbled like a tower of cards. SSG with kill after kill, break after break, were able to eke out a win to force this game 5. And I mean, this whole game, it was just a full highlight reel of plays.
And look at Bound. Look at Bound, man. Look at Bound after having a really rough start in this series. He goes positive in this game +4 at the time being, but he's got 110 seconds of on-ball time. And then on the other side, another player who's been popping off all series despite the slow start for his team. It's Stellar at +11 and a whole minute of ball time. Unbelievable performance from SSG. When they needed the slays, they got the slays. When they needed the time, they got the time, and everybody played their role to perfection.
Give me your ballpark for number of kills in that game. Yesterday we had a oddball streaks with 293. What do you think this one was?
That felt like a 247.
307.
What?
Where we were 7 short yesterday, we were +7 here today. Somebody else can check the math.
No
but it was
way.
161 for SSG, 146 on the side of FaZe.
What?
The slain leader being the objective leader, SSG clutching up. I think we just saw a +300 kill match.
Oh my, I thought we were so lucky as a Halo community to witness 293 slays in a matter of 15 minutes. Here we have 300 plus slays. Oh my God, some of us plat ones in the lobby. We won't even get 300 kills in a total series.
My career.
I'm coming for the plat ones. But here we have, wow, a total of 300 plus between these two teams, showing why they're two of the best teams in the world.
The number 2 and the number 3 seed, it couldn't be much closer. Give yourself some credit, Mikowski.
Man.
You're at least a plat 2.
Oh, yeah, I can get to plat 2. I'm there.
But do you plateau at plat 2? That's the question.
Yeah.
Both of these teams are hitting that juncture where it all comes down to a game number 5. It's going to be Slayer, Imperium, and SSG. Do they have the momentum after back-to-back wins? Or does it go to FaZe? They came out strong in the series with that 2-0 lead. They barely hung on for the game number 2, 49-50. And honestly, that feels like it's gonna happen again. I can't see this series ending any more beyond a 49-50, one way or the other.
Well, this is wild because FaZe Clan, a team that many would say are major win bound, are 1-3 in game 5s. Does FaZe Clan not have the ice? That's the question. That's the narrative that has formed based on their performance. Not a fact, or excuse me, not an opinion. This is just a fact of the matter in game 5s. FaZe are 1-3. They're going to need to reverse history here and reverse the momentum that SSG has been building in this series if they don't want to go down in heartbreaking fashion after dominating in games 1 and 2.
Does the team with a player named Frosty ice up when they need it, or does SSG, are they bound for the reverse sweep? It's going to come down to this game 5. I apologize. Not really. I'm kind of proud of that one, actually. We saw Bound popping off when he needed to. Honestly, if we're going to focus on an individual player, you called out Bound in that game number 3, that need to win a Space Station match, where first half of the game wasn't playing to par, second half he turned up, and that carried through into this match. And honestly, if Bound comes out strong in game 5, that's it. That's the reverse sweep. But if FaZe can find the answer for a player like Bound, then it's going to be FaZe taking the victory. And I know I'm putting a lot on one person, but that's the position that this player is in. Oh, the return to sender! Almost was the play.
FaZe 1-3 in game 5s, SSG 2-3 in game 5. So something's got to give. One of these two teams is going to notch an extra win on the stat sheet for game 5 performances, as we have a classic one here. All the Halo 3 fans are going to love this one. Imperium Slayer. This one's tied early 2-2, now 3-2. SSG with the narrow lead, with Stellar pushing through with that sniper rifle.
And we've seen Space Station very recently here in the game 5. Imperium Slayer was against Native White. where Space Station clutched up 50-49. The sniper in that case was in the hands of Eco, lining up the perfect final kill. Keep an eye out for these snipers, and top sword being the position that Space Station is collecting right now. They have so many angles, they have cover to work with, and look at FaZe Clan stacking up on the approach. There's 1, 2, 3 players. You have the heat wave in hand. Snakebite is the opening pick with that snipe, and FaZe Clan are rolling through to steal this power position. Stellar last alive to hold any ground for Space Station.
Last alive, but I believe still holding on to that sniper rifle. And there you saw the focused comms. He's got no more ammo now. He's got the plasma pistol instead. But there we saw focused comms from FaZe Clan. They did not want to allow Stellar to pop off in this game with the snipe. Already 2-0 to start. That's why we saw the heavy concentrated push on this sword side. As we still see it, it's a cause effect. We're still seeing the fight. The majority of the heat map lies on the sword side of this map so far, Magic.
I would love to see an actual heat map from this map in particular, along with the others, but it's the net positive game for FaZe Clan. They were just down 1 point. Now they have that +1 advantage. So on that takedown, on that push, Space Station goes down. FaZe is on the climb back up, and it's Penguin. He's all the way over in the base of FaZe, and he gets the trade, and now Stellar filling in. They're really forcing FaZe Clan spawning over on that sniper side.
And that's what's unbelievable, is that for the most part, SSG has been on the FaZe side of the map, which usually bodes well for a lead in Slayer. Despite that, +3 advantage, 15-12 for FaZe Clan. That's surprising.
And it's Penguin picking up the rockets, but he's dealt with swiftly. Both overshield and rockets are in hand. I think Space Station are going to come away with that OS, while FaZe Clan pick up the rockets. You kind of see that decision. You got to emphasize one side or the other. So keep a lookout for those power weapons. It's bound. The player to watch, currently just 1 negative. Snakebite with rockets. Name a more iconic duo.
It's unbelievable. Look at this. Snakebite's on the other side of the map, but all 4 are on the FaZe side of the map for SSG. Snakebite, because of it, is not going to be able to utilize the rockets the way he would like. He's going to have to continue to play patient all the while. Snipers are up on both sides. Frosty gets a little peek at the opponent, but doesn't take him down. Eco, who clutched up 50-49 for his team against Native White, doesn't get a chance to even fire a shot as he goes down. Will Frosty go down with his sniper? No, and that means a potential for 2 snipes in the hands of FaZe Clan, already up 5 despite the pressure. This reminds me, Magic, of game 1, where all the pressure on Argyle was on FaZe's side of the map, but despite that, you have Frosty popping up with a snipe. The double kill, maybe a triple on Brown. Unbelievable no-scope for the killing spree.
That second snipe was so nasty, as Frosty leading the way for FaZe Clan. Now they're up by 9 points. What was just a back and forth 1-point difference from side to side. As we reach this halfway point or near to it, all of a sudden things are slowing down. There's only the snipers in play, no overshield, no rockets. The teams almost have this like non-verbal agreement to wait for the next round of power-ups, but Frosty doesn't know there's a player right behind him on the frag. He might catch some shots in the back. I'm not sure who it is from Space Station, but it's gonna be too late. Frosty finds a headshot with 1. He's gonna scramble away with his life as Renegade locks down a snipe kill of his own. Both snipes in the hands of FaZe, and they are putting them to work.
And just like FaZe focused fire on Stellar at the start of this game, SSG has got to focus fire on Frosty, and now Renegade, because he has a snipe as well. Nearly a 2-1 margin for FaZe Clan. They have 2 snipes to work with as well, and if SSG isn't careful, this one is going to snowball to a potential spectacular even at this rate. That's a huge kill, though. Taking down Frosty, that was the focus fire that SSG needed. Can they flip the map as a result?
And Frosty wasn't being sneaky about his position there, because he was trying to bait in SSG to repulse them off the side of the map. But SSG, they just sent the grenades on the scouting mission to get the kill, stayed out of the range of that repulsor. A big win for Space Station to try to stabilize with some map control. And Penguin, even more crucial, wins the overshield. He repulses back 1 rocket. He just soaks up the damage from the second. 10-point game, but a big shift here for Space Station.
This is just like, this is so hard to make sense of, because FaZe, they've been on their side of the map the entirety of this game. Usually when that's the case, the score is flipped. It should be SSG 27-19 when you have FaZe on a quote-unquote spawn trap, but it feels like this is part of the strategy. It feels like they like playing off of their back foot in a sense. This is unbelievable. Here we see why. Snakebite literally with his back against the very base of the wall of his team spawn finds another kill. Finds another kill here on Stellar. Starting to see a little bit of why and how FaZe Clan, despite being spawn trapped, are up by 9.
Oh, Frosty with a cheeky positioning at the top of that tower, jumps up, finds the takedown onto Bound. An 8-point lead. So it is absurd to see how often Spacestation has overextended, but FaZe Clan fighting out a spawn trap after spawn trap. But we finally see a sniper in the hands of Spacestation. 2 go down for FaZe. Royal 2 needs to stay alive. He has 8 rounds in the sniper. The push is coming through. Bound is hungry for this map positioning, hungry for that power weapon, and Royal 2 delivers that snipe shot directly to him.
I have never seen a team play this well out of their own base, and it's the sniper. That's a big reason why everyone on this FaZe Clan roster has had a moment where they've popped off and played really well with the sniper. At least kept that SSG push at bay with the likes of a body shot. And when you're up 32-25, that honestly is a win condition. Just to get damage and not allow these guys to push off their front foot, which it seems like SSG is doing, but they're really not here. FaZe Clan is in full control.
But maybe this is a little adjustment from Spacestation. You're not seeing 2 players rotating through green or rotating long haul. Instead, they're grouped up, which is what FaZe has been doing throughout this game. Now all of Spacestation on the sniper sword side. Rockets and Overshield just 6 seconds away. Eco is in prime position, but Bound down below with a repulsor ready to trap. Again, Spacestation have everyone on the sword side, and that means Frosty comes away with 2 rockets uncontested. It's another play of Rockets versus Overshield.
Oh, Stellar barely dodging that rocket, but he cannot avoid the second shot. That's huge, as Stellar had the sniper. But now Penguin, here we go, finally taking down Royal 2, or the likes of Snakebite, off the snipe tower. That's been part of the strategy for FaZe Clan, is to anchor their own sniper. Now you have Penguin with sniper on the FaZe side of the map, but this is kind of wild here because Penguin's not going to get a look at any of the members for FaZe, because now they're on the SSG side of the map for the first time in this game with all 4.
Oh, Stellar finds himself in an unfortunate spawn trap, the same type of trap that Spacestation is trying to put FaZe into. Now Stellar finds himself on the receiving end of that trap. FaZe are all in the base of Spacestation. Penguin with a breaking kill, the double kill.
What?
He hits that body shot. Did he repulse back Needler damage on that kill?
He had to have, because the snipe went out before the repulsor, and the snipe was the one in the feed. So I believe that might have been self-inflicted Needler damage of the 1% variety.
Or team fire.
Or team fire.
Because if you repulse back, it will still show a Needler, even if the person that you're taking down fired the Needler. It would still show that in the feed, like a return to sender rocket will show the rocket symbol. So it had to have been team fire that credits Penguin with that sniper takedown. Maybe a teammate trying to keep him alive, but instead it's the win for Penguin on that individual fight. He needs another clean win here. He needs to stay alive. The assist comes through. Hopefully the protection from Eco, still holding at a 9-point game with FaZe 9 away from the win.
This isn't over. We've seen this map provide runs for either team, so don't be surprised if SSG goes on a run here. I know they're down 9, but they could come back here. Oh, 2 in a row, now down only 7, bringing to within a 2-possession game. Continuing now, 6 kills. The next 2 kills could make a 1-possession game going into the 40s.
And they had both snipers. Bound just spent the last round of 1 sniper. Stellar with 6 rounds of his own. No counter snipe here for FaZe Clan, but Stellar has to duck away, stay alive. It's Eco pushing at the back of the base. Renegade has a sniper too. There were 3 snipers in play at one moment. Rockets and Overshield in play in just 2 seconds. It's still that 8-point lead for FaZe. Spacestation have had time and time again to get back in this match, but FaZe Clan is keeping them just short. The first rocket doesn't connect. The second one results in the trade.
And now SSG playing against the clock as much as they are FaZe Clan. Is FaZe did a great job. Right as it looked like SSG had enough pressure and numbers to potentially make this a really mixy endgame, FaZe regains that lead of 7-8, has the map control. And at this point, Penguin can't stay on this side. Penguin and the rest of SSG are going to have to desperate here, like as if you were down almost 2 in a CTF with 1 to go, because they're just simply running out of clock.
And Penguin might be running out of health. He's full health, but it's Snakebite with the overshield. It does dwindle down to nothing. The heat wave is at the ready. And see that decision to stall for time as Snakebite ducks back into what we used to call the party room, the heat wave spawn room. Trades of kills. It's only a 5-point game. A minute left on the clock.
5 kills separating these two teams and only 55 seconds on the clock. Renegade, Royal 2, they're going to hang out. This is a party room for them because they don't need to push. They're going to play defensively like they did off of their spawn here. Now using the mid-map as if it were spawn. And the trades. Those are win conditions. Up 5 with less than 50 seconds to go. FaZe only needs 1 more.
Great anticipation on the player at top. Sword to drop down. The repulsor coming into play. FaZe are looking for one last kill to lock down this series. Spacestation need to get 5 kills in the next 25 seconds to clutch up the win. Stellar's making the approach. No sniper ammo, but a few grenades. The push comes through. He gets 1 kill. He has to turn around, clean up the other, but it's not enough. FaZe find the last kill. 50-46. And what came down to the final moments results in FaZe Clan taking on Optic in the winners final. SSG dropping into the lower bracket.
And SSG did a great job putting the pressure on late. It was just too little too late as they go down by 4 kills. But when you look at the score across the series, it was a 1-0 FaZe Clan, 50-49. FaZe Clan looked really dominant in those games 1 and 2, but the score was really tight and it really carried all the way through. Here's that. Okay, yeah, let's break this down. How the hell does Penguin get the sniper credit?
It's team fire.
It's got to be the team fire, but let's look. Okay, so Stellar probably. No? Snakebite? I'm confused. I have no idea how he got. I have no. We're gonna need like
Snakebite.
Yeah, it must have been Snake. Oh, but no, Snakebite's behind Snipe Tower. Where does the damage come in to earn the sniper in the kill feed? Because if there was the Needlers that were repulsed, it would have shown up in the feed. Sniper in the feed instead for Penguin. That's an anomaly.
Honestly, we're gonna need to get the analysts in the chat. Somebody coming with Eli the Ninja, hop in here, break down that play for us. Who was it on Twitter that broke down Tony's double kill? I think it was King J. I'm sure there's people out there that can make sense of that play, but making sense of the series. Strong start from FaZe, responded back in kind from Spacestation. FaZe do ice up when they need to at the end, and that was a drama-filled roller coaster of a series. And Mikowski, can you believe this is the semifinals? It had the intensity, it had the level of play that you'd expect from a grand finals matchup.